It's going to again going to be feel pretty comfortable. It's exactly like solving multi-step equations, except again, when you have a negative operator, you're going to flip the inequality sign. So we're going to be solving linear equalities that deal with more than one operation and that deal with the distributive property. Here's an example. We're going to do it, this says we're going to do it, undo the operations, the same way we did it with multi-step equations, which I just said. Okay, we're going to write and solve an inequality to find the sales Mrs. Jones needs if she earns a monthly salary of $2,000 plus a 10% commission on her sales. And her goal is to make at least $4,000 per month. What sales does she need to meet? What sales does she need to meet her goal? Okay, let's peek at this here. So what we're going to do is we're going to have her base salary, right? And we're going to add that to her 10% commission. And the way that's figured, right, is so we have her base salary. Her commission, we remember is 10%, right? And then that'll be multiplied by the amount of sales that she does. So, for instance, this means like every time say she's, what does she sell? Does it tell us? Say she's selling furniture. And for every couch that she sells, say it's a $500 couch, she's going to make 10% commission on that $500 couch. So that's what this section is. And that needs to be greater than the income she wants to have. So our equation looks like this. 2,000 plus 0.10x is greater than or equal to 4,000. She'd be happy to make more than $4,000, but she has to at least make $4,000 to meet her goal. Okay? And if you solve that, you end up seeing that x is, which is how much she has to sell, has to be greater than $20,000 in order for her to meet her goal. Okay, here's a practice problem for you. The print shop advertises a special print of 400 flyers for less than the competition. All right, see if you can do this problem. Stop the video, work it out, and start the video back up when you got it. Again, remember, when multiplying or dividing by a negative number, you're going to flip the direction of the inequality, okay? So when you're multiplying or dividing by a negative number, you're going to flip the direction of the inequality. All right, so here we have a problem for ourselves. We have an example of a multi-step inequality. Negative 11y minus 13 is greater than 42. Okay, and then we're going to graph the solution on a number line. So let's get our like terms together. So that would be these two. So we're going to add 13 to both sides. Right? And we find out we have negative 11y is greater, ooh, that was ugly, is greater than 42 plus 13 is 55. All right? I'm going to be dividing by negative 11 on both sides. Well, if I'm dividing by a negative 11, that means my sign's going to change. I do that first so I don't forget to do it. That leaves me with y is less than 5. All right, and we graph that solution on a number line. Here is 5. Here is 4 and 6. Okay, oops, that's a 6 really, guys. Okay, and it's less than, it's not an equal to, so it's an open circle, and y is less than that, so we'll be heading in this direction. Make sure you have your arrow on the end. Okay, let's try the next one. Oh, actually, you only get me to show you one. These two are for you guys to try. Stop the video, start it back up when you're done. Okay, you can translate sentences into multi-step inequalities, of course. We're getting very good at translating sentences. I mean, I really think you guys are. Think about how challenging that was for you, well, certainly a year ago, but even at the beginning of the year. Practice is helping. I think you guys are really getting pretty decent at this. Okay, so our sentence is, here the directions say define a variable, write an inequality, and solve the problem. So 5 minus 6 times the number is more than 4 times the number plus 45. 5 minus 6 times the number is more than 4 times the number plus 35. So can you see these letters? It's a little light, but so let's think about this. 5 minus 6 times the number, see how they've grouped this, is more than 4 times the number plus 45. 5 minus 6 times the number is more than 4n plus 45. All right? So here we have variables on either side of the inequality, but they're the same number. And we can solve that pretty easily, right? We're going to get our like terms together, which of course will be these guys and these guys. So 5 minus 6n is greater than 4n plus 45. Let's minus 5 on both sides. We're going to keep our variables on the left when we can, right? Plus 40. And now we'll subtract 4n from both sides. And we get negative 10n is greater than 40. So we're going to be dividing by negative 10 on both sides, right? The sign's going to change, and we'll get n is less than 4. Okay? Good. Here's your practice problem. Good luck with that. Okay, now let's look at solving inequalities using the distributive property. Again, pretty much the same format as equations, just have to remember if you have to flip the sign or if you're operating with a negative number. So here's our problem, and then we will graph it. Okay, 4 times 3t, minus 5 plus, well, this is just being weird. Let me try and write this again, guys. 4 times 3t minus 5 plus 7 is greater than or equal to 8t plus 3. And that is a t. Okay. So let's distribute first. 4 times 3t is 12t. And 4 times negative 5 will be a negative 20 plus 7 is greater than or equal to 8t plus 3. All right, get our like terms together, get our whole numbers and our variables together. So let's move our variables over to here, to the left side, and we get 4t minus 20 plus 7 is greater than or equal to 3. So that's 4t minus 20, not minus 20. Minus 20 plus 7 will give us a negative 13 is greater than or equal to 3. Add 13 to both sides. And we have 4t is greater than or equal to 16. This time we're dividing by a positive number, so our sign is not going to change. and we'll get t is greater than or equal to 4. And then we had to graph that on a number line. 4, 3, and 5, and it's greater than or equal to, so it's a filled in dot, and it's going to be bigger than 4, so there we go. There's our arrow. Okay. Okay, here's a couple for you guys to practice with. If you're solving an inequality and the statement is never true, then the solution set is written as the empty set. So this is, again, very similar to equations. And the symbol for an empty set is that symbol, okay? The empty set has no numbers in it. One thing, you might want to read this study tip, and we've talked about this with equations as well. If you notice, if we look at this problem right here, let's see if I can get my highlighter going. That's not what I wanted with the highlighter. You'll notice that, so we look at 4t plus 25 is less than 4t minus 12. Well, you might, if you notice that some number, 4t plus is less than 25 is equal to that number, no number could be true. You can't have 4t plus 25 being less than 4t minus 12. If you just, at that point, even use common sense, you can understand that that can't possibly be true. So you can right away write your empty set. Here are a couple of practice problems for you with that. Oops. And I guess maybe that is it, guys. I guess that's our last one. So those practice problems, and I'll put those back to full screen for you. Maybe. Maybe I'll put it back to full screen for you. Let's try it that way. Okay. There you go. Good luck with these, and we'll talk about them in class.